Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. We come now to the matter of najasa. Najasa means filth, qadara, a dirty object. We have to mention it here because, as I mentioned before, the matter of worship, it should be preceded by purification. And that purification is the key of worship. And the Prophet ﷺ said, "At-tuhuru shatrul iman." Purification is a part of faith. Purification is part of faith. This hadith is so beautiful, and it is agreed upon. Agreed upon means it had been agreed on its authenticity. That's what it means. So I may say in Arabic, muttafaqun alayh. It had been agreed about. About what? That this narration is authentic. Agreed between Bukhari and Muslim. And those two books are the two books that have been credited, believed by the whole nation of the Muslims to be the most authentic two books after the Quran. So when I say muttafaqun alayh, agreed upon, which means it is in Bukhari and Muslim. So therefore this narration is agreed upon. Okay. The matter of filth is different kind of. We begin with the mayta. Mayta means the dead, which had been became dead, for example, without being slaughtered necessarily. The dead, as we said, is forbidden, except one kind of dead, as we mentioned before, the fish, the dead fish. And also, what follows this? So we know the dead animal that have been found dead without being slaughtered, this is forbidden to be eaten from. What follows that, let's say, for example, a living animal, a sheep, okay? Its leg had been cut off for a reason or another. Can we eat from that? No, we cannot eat. Because the Prophet ﷺ said, what had been cut from the animal while it is alive, it is considered to be dead. That means that part that had been cut from the living animal, this member or part is considered to be a dead kind of flesh. So it is not allowed to use it or to eat it. This narration is narrated by Ahmad and Al-Hakim authentically. It is authentic. So the dead is not allowed, but there is an exemption. What is it? As we mentioned, the fish and the locust. And two bloods are allowed for us. Dead and blood are haram, forbidden, except these kinds, dead fish and dead locust. Why dead locust? The locust, you may not like it. The way it moves, the way it flies, you don't like it. But it contains a high kind of protein. And this is a solution. When we have a great groups, billions of grasshoppers and locusts, they attack your greens, causing famine. Now, if you bring chemicals through the airplane and spread it, sprinkle it, it will be killing your greens as well. So what is the best way to do to get rid of those? Since they caused us famine, punish them. I'm joking, doesn't mean punish, literally, by eating them. So people may not find it good to eat them, yet they contain a lot of rate of protein. It is food that you can eat. Okay? It is better than killing your greens and staying without food. Now you have food. So those kind of locusts are allowed to be eaten when found dead. As for the blood, yes, two kinds of bloods are allowed for us. the liver and the spleen. Liver and spleen, or you can say milt, both are allowed, exempted from what is haram. That also is indicative to the importance of the sunnah, because by the sunnah we could tell about this exemption. Otherwise, there's nothing in the Quran about this exemption. And also, yeah. Also, what we follow in exemption, the created beings that have no liquid material inside it, such as bees or ants, etc., there is no blood in them. Okay? So if they fell on something, that thing will not become dirty. Okay. Coming back to the matter of blood, such as the blood of menstruation, period, and the blood birth, okay, those are forbidden. And also the blood of the animal. The blood of the animal, is it permissible or not permissible? I've seen even in Europe, they drink the blood of the animal. They cook it. So, as for the gushing blood that gushes from the animal while slaughtering the animal, this very kind of blood is forbidden. Okay? And it is important to slay the animal, because you can see if you go to a butchery, you know, a big place in a farm where they slay the animals and they hang them on the hooks, you can see those animals making the same action exactly. A system that Allah Almighty set in them. You know why? This animal is emptying by itself, it's emptying the blood from it for your benefit, for your favor. For your favor. Otherwise, if you hit the animal and killed it without slaying it, the dirty blood will not go out. And the gush and the movement of those animals will be helping this gushed blood to go out. It's cleaning itself for you. Many people do not know. Slaughtering the animal, it may be seen hard, difficult, torturing, but internally it is the best and the most merciful kind of killing for those dead animals that Allah made allowed for us to eat. But wait a minute, what about after the gushing blood had gone? There are some bloods, yes, there's still blood in the veins. And this kind of blood, it is not forbidden. It is okay. It is okay. After, for example, cutting the skin of the animal, you find some traces of blood. Now, this blood is not dirty. What about the blood of the human being? Blood of the human being is not allowed to be eaten or drink or to be drank. But what about if a person bleeds and he has wudu ablution? Does this break his wudu? The answer is no, it doesn't. Omar died while he was praying and his blood was gushing, but he remained standing in prayer, and he tried to finish his prayer, but he couldn't. Al-Hasan, he said, ما زال المسلمون يصلون في جراحاتهم. Still the Muslims kept continuously performing the prayer while they were injured. And that narration is narrated by Al-Bukhari. So this narration is authentic. Al-Hasan is a tabi'i. Tabi'i is the one who was alive at the lifetime of the companions. He saw the companions, he took knowledge from them, but he did not see the Prophet, peace be with him. We call those tabi'i. But those who saw the Prophet ﷺ, we call them companions, sahabi. So Al-Hasan is tabi'i. And he said that I kept seeing Muslims always performing the prayer while they were injured. And it was narrated by Ibn Mas'ud, is one of the companions, that he slaughtered a camel, and he was cutting the camel, and the blood of the camel went on him as he was cutting it. Then he finished the cutting of the animal, he went to prayer, and he did not take wudu for his prayer. So it is allowed. Now, what about the urine of the human being? The urine of a human being, it causes rinsing, cleaning, except in one case. A child that had urinated on, for example, you put the child on your thigh, and he urinated, then for the male, it is enough that you sprinkle water on the place, but for the female, it requires more rinsing, and that renders to the way that the urine of the female falls gush stronger and sharper than the way of the male falls or discharges. Now, this is in case they had not eaten food yet. They're still on the milk. But if they started to eat food, then for both is the same case, that if they urinated on your clothes, then you have to wash and rinse the clothes. In terms of, we know there's something called madhi and wadi. Madhi and wadi, those are two substances that discharge from the person his private part. Sometimes when he is pushing, in case defecating, sometimes it happens, or he lifts something that breaks his wudu, and he has to purify the place, purify the private part and the places that this liquid had been involved in his clothes. Just with little water, he rinses it like this, and then he takes another wudu, because that breaks the wudu as well. Wadi, this is wadi. As for the madhi is something that discharges as preparation for the sexual intercourse. It happens sometimes. It comes from the beginning feeling, sexual feeling. It may discharges, and if that happened, then the same case, the person should be purifying the private part, purifying the clothes, that this liquid substance, which is colorless, transparent, he has to purify the place where that liquid got involved in, as well as his private part. Then he takes wudu. He doesn't need to take a shower for this. He doesn't need to take a shower. Now, as for the mani means the sperm. We talked about the madhi and wadi. Those two substances are dirty. But as for the sperm itself, subhanallah, it is not dirty. It is not dirty. and the person needs to take bathe. He should be bathing himself. Okay, if he becomes junub and he ejaculated, for example, through not necessarily in one case, but if he had wet dreams, okay, or sometimes happen by other things. It happens by masturbation or something. Then there is no timidness in terms of religion. We should not be feeling ashamed. These things should be known. Okay, as we know, it's been said, "La haya'a fi din." There is no timidness when matters of religion needed to be known. Okay, so the madhi and wadi are two dirty substances, but as for the mani itself, the sperm, okay, or semen, it is not dirty, but it requires a bathing. It requires a bathing. Well, what about if this semen fell on the clothes? Aisha said sometimes this used to be happening with the Prophet ﷺ, and I used to be moving it by my nails, moving it away when it becomes dry, which means it's indicative to the fact that it is not dirty. If the madhi and the wadi are in your clothes, you should not be praying. But if this mani got involved, okay, your clothes, it is not dirty. You can pray even if this mani, semen, had reached your clothes. But it doesn't mean, if we say it's clean, it doesn't mean that you should not be taking a bath. No, you should be taking a bath. And taking a bath is very important to be known. First, you take wudu without your legs. Then you throw the water on yourself for bathing. Many people do not know that. They think that you bathe yourself, then you take wudu, which is not true. This is the exact description of the Prophet's wudu, Prophet's ghusl. Ghusl means bathing. He used to be taking wudu, whether he is junub or not. He takes wudu, but he doesn't rinse his feet. Then he throw the whole water on himself. Also, the urine and the defecation, the feces of the animals that we can eat, their urine, their defecation is not dirty. When we say it's not dirty, it doesn't mean that we should be eating them, no. But we should know whether they are dirty or not. And they are not. The animal which its flesh can be eaten, then its urine and feces are not dirty. Okay? We come also to the matter of the khanzir, pig. Okay? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, أَوْ لَحْمَ خِنْزِيرٍ فَإِنَّهُ رِجْسٌ. Or the flesh of the pig, it is rich, that means it is filthy, it is dirty. Also the flesh, the meat of the dogs and the cats of the wilderness, etc. It is not allowed. Okay, for the Prophet ﷺ had prohibited eating the flesh of every animal that has fan or canine, or among the birds, every bird that has claws, those big strong claws, just such as falcon, eagle, etc. These details had not been revealed in the Quran. We find them in the Sunnah. Also, we repeat that this shows the importance of the Sunnah. Lastly, what had been slayed for the cause of idols, not for the cause of Allah. Okay? this is filthy and dirty, and we should not be eating it. It is not permissible at all. We come also to the skin of the animal. Is it permissible? In general, yes. Especially when this skin had been, there is a way of purifying the skin and cleaning it, soaking it, heating it. If that process had been taken, procedure had been taken, then it is permissible for you to use the skin of the animal. Sometimes, you know, you just use it as a carpet or etc. It is allowed in general, without any specification. We end with the matter of khamr. What do you mean by khamr? Khamr means cover. Khamr. But people usually, if they translate it into English, they use the term alcohol, which is not true. It's incorrect. Khamr, you know, the Sharia of Allah the Almighty, the law of Allah. In the law of Allah, terms have been borrowed and taken to be used Islamically. And by its names, you can tell what it means. For example, cover. Yes, cover, it is a word, general word, which means khamr, which means to cover. Anything that causes the mind to be covered, be it alcohol or wine or drugs or pills, okay, or heroin or hash, all of those materials, they are included under the word cover, because these things cover the mind from soundly functioning. So the using the word khamr, cover, it shows the perfectness of this religion. Don't you realize that the word khamr is so close to khimar? And we know that the meaning of the word khimar means the cover of the woman. Khamr, khimar. So, which also assures that the meaning of khamr means to cover, because khimar is to cover the head. Khimar. Yeah. But wait a minute. Sometimes we use this alcohol for perfume, as a matter of perfume. You know these perfumes. So in this case, can we use them? The answer is yes, because the prohibition of this is through drinking them, not using them for other usages, for other usages. So yes, it is permissible, and there is nothing with this. By this we have ended the matter of najasa, filth, and we come in our next episode, inshallah, to other subjects that are included in the chapter of purification. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.